All right, I just want to talk about a few mindset tips that are going to really help you through this journey. The first is understanding that the only way out of this situation is through this situation. And again, one of those counterintuitive things because our body is going to want to really not face this discomfort and take the easy way out as much as possible. And unfortunately, um, there's no easy way out of this. So we have to get through this. We have to experience the symptoms, experience the panic, kind of just take it for what it is before we're going to get out of this, right? And so for the longest time, I just felt like, I was doing some things, but driving was the really hard one for me. And I kept telling myself, well, I'll recover enough where driving will become comfortable and then I'll drive. Well, spoiler alert, that never happened. So I was never comfortable enough to drive. I had to just do it and schedule it and respond and be extremely uncomfortable over and over and over again. And that was during the day and then during the night and then during the rain and then over a bridge. And there was so many like little components to that were hard in different ways for me. So yes, the only way out of this is through it. So keep that in mind and understand like we've got to get through this stuff to get out of it and it's just necessary. It is what it is. So something to accept when it comes to the recovery journey. The next thing is really thinking about what are my other options? Because uh if you're like me and hopefully in this way you are, you've exhausted some other options here. You've tried different things, you've tried different doctors, you've tried different methods, and you know firsthand, not just me telling you that they're not working. So, what are your other options? I had to ask myself that a lot, when I would feel like, oh, what if this doesn't help me? What if, what if, what if? And then I was like, you know what? Um, what are my other options? And not in the way of like, let me Google them because I'd already tried them all anyway. So I understood like I know that 5Fing's going to set me back for sure. Um, I know that I'm being told this is going to move me forward. And so I had to kind of just have faith that, okay, I know that the other way is going to make me worse, and I'm told this way is going to make me better. So I've got to just believe in it and I've got to just go for it. The next thing I would say is really taking ownership of your recovery journey and knowing that the ball is in your court, right? We can sit here and we can fixate on how much stress we're under due to other people. I had plenty of that at the time. We can look at our job and we can look at where we're living and who we're living with or whatever the case might be. I'm talking about things that cannot be changed, right? Unproductive things to think about because there's no changing them right now. We can look at that and we can feel bad for ourselves and we can justify why we're here and we can talk about my anxiety is never going to get better until this changes. Okay, well, if it's not changeable, then what does that mean for you? Right? We've got to choose. Okay, despite the situations that I'm in, I'm not talking about dangerous situations either. So if you're in a dangerous situation, that is productive and needs to come out of that. But I'm talking about normal life stuff. Stuff that's annoying or inconvenient but can't be changed. We've got to look at that and just take it for what it is. Understand that if we can learn to respond to those situations and we can learn to live our life in the situation that we're in that we don't want to be in or the job we don't want to be in or whatever it might be, that it's only going to get better from there, right? Then we'll be able to master recovery in all areas of life because here's the thing, maybe you can recover in your ideal great situation. Cool. Well, what does that mean when 5 years from now something bad happens and you're not in a good situation? Then can you respond? So being in situations that aren't perfect is actually not a bad thing because it teaches you how to really make the most out of things and respond when you're not able to or don't want to, right? So that's something that I would say too. Um, I would also say that really looking at this as day by day is important, taking it day by day. Don't look too far forward, don't look too far backwards, don't look at it's been a year now. Last year I was actually doing a little bit better on this day. Don't look at that kind of stuff because it's not productive, right? Don't look too far forward. Don't look at What's my wedding day gonna look like? What about, am I ever gonna be able to walk my kids down the aisle? Like, don't look at that either. So just focus on the now, because when we start to spin our wheels and again freak out about the future or the past or where we're at right now, it's not gonna help us. The last thing that I will say, is kind of something that helped me a lot. And I'm not saying that you're stuck like this forever, because you're not. And if you were, there'd be no point in everything that I'm doing in this coaching program. But kind of coming to terms with, you know what, if I am stuck this way forever, then I'm going to learn how to live with it. You know, I'm going to learn how to make the most of my life. And maybe I'm more tired than most people. And maybe I, am uncomfortable doing things that most people can do. But you know what? Is that the end of the world? No. And so I would kind of get cozy up to the fact of, hey, I'm just going to learn how to live with this. I'm not going to freak out about it. It is what it is. Hopefully it goes away, right? But I'm going to learn how to live with it. And what that does is it takes the pressure off of you, and it takes the threat of, what if I'm stuck this way forever, kind of off the table. And then you respond, you say, well, then I'm this way forever. And I'll be okay. And I'll respond, and I'm going to learn how to live with it, right? So again, I'm not saying that to tell you that you're stuck this way forever. I'm saying that to allow you to kind of like, get with that mindset of, if I am, I am. It's actually not that bad. It's uncomfortable, but it's gonna be okay. And I can learn how to have a good day. I can learn how to play with my kids. I can learn how to do things the pace that I'm able to do them. I'm not gonna fixate on, I used to be able to do so much more. I'm just gonna do what I can, right? I'm gonna do my absolute best, and the best is the best that I can do. And I would say throughout my whole recovery journey, I was at a very, very, very minimized version of what I could handle and tolerate and do. And that's okay. It's just a season of life. And pressuring yourself and putting all the pressure on your shoulders is absolutely not going to speed things up for you. So I'm sure there's many, many more mindset tips that will pop up throughout questions, but those are kind of some ones that I see a lot and that were really important for me in my recovery journey.